Today's video is sponsored by Airline Transportation Tycoon, the new Airline Tycoon game in development. Find out more later in the video. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Airport CEO here on BongoPlanes, where we today will continue our construction of London City Airport. We are working a little bit inside the terminals. We will be sorting out our taxiway systems, getting in the first aircraft, and we will be working a little bit on the surroundings of the airport. Before we get too far into today's episode, if you should end up enjoying this video, then don't forget to leave a like. That really does help out the series. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? Right, I should probably also mention that there is a possibility of some noise in the background during this audio recording. It's because we don't just have a construction site here in the game, but today there's also a real-life construction site just outside my office. And I just couldn't wait doing this recording any longer, because otherwise I wouldn't have made it in time for the Sunday release of this video. So I do apologize if there should be any noises, but hopefully you won't hear anything. Anyway, so what we're working on here right now is basically sorting out our taxiways. You can see here at one end we have like this dual taxiway system, which we also have here at the other side of the airfield. That's basically trying to alleviate some possible bottlenecks when it comes to the taxiway system. If it's getting really bad, theoretically we could basically extend the taxiway so we have a dual taxiway all the way across the field. But as we don't have that in real life at London City Airport, I'd much rather just try to have it like this for now. But if it really goes bad, we can help ourselves out and give us another taxiway. Alright, so I also said in the intro of the video that we want to get in our first aircraft, and that will be general aviation because it's the most simple setup. General aviation, you don't really need anything. You just need a stand, a working runway, and that's pretty much it. Any other additional services you can add, but general aviation is also happily and totally fine without any of that. But we do also look a little bit about on staff. I have already hired a few people for the board, which we of course will need as we need to start building up the services we need for PAX traffic. But so just let's just quickly get a few in from the different categories. I mean, we can just start collecting these workers anyway, because we will need them at some point anyway, and then we don't have to wait for applications. So let's just get in the ones that actually are salvageable. Some of them we might have to train, but yeah. Okay, so once we have done that, let's focus on the general aviation to get that going. Now for the general aviation, we technically don't need any vehicles, but we want to offer at least refueling. So let's get 2 refueling trucks. I think that should be fine for now. I don't think it will get too busy. Then we have the Alpha 36 update, which has brought in emergency services, which means there can also happen some stuff at the airport, some aircraft, I don't know, skidding off runways, I don't know, who knows. But anyway, there should have to be some stuff happening, but I don't know if this also applies to general aviation. But let's just be sure that we have some vehicles, so some ambulances, police cars and fire trucks, just so we are on the safe side. So the fire station can take up to 4 vehicles, so 2 ambulances, 2 fire trucks, at least for now, and the police station can take up to 8, but I think 2 police cars for now should be fine. Yeah, as I say, I'm not really sure if this is actually necessary for general aviation, but we will, I guess, find out at some point. Then we also need to be sure that we have the not just the de-icing pads, but we also need the de-icing liquid depot. And yeah, so that will be constructed. So that should be all the stuff we need for the generation, I would guess. Let's just check. So we have the 2 ambulances, 2 fire trucks, 2 police cars. All right. So if we look at the operations panel, we want to have refueling service. We want to allow general aviation. For refueling service, right, we still need a contract, so we just need to find a company giving us a decent deal on that. Let's just select fuel here. So let's see what deals we have. Sky Sky tanking. So let's quickly go through these deals. I think Sky... No. Any is not bad. That's definitely not bad, but heavy fuel. So they were 0.1 cent more expensive on Jet A fuel, but they were quite a lot cheaper on the LL100 fuel for the general aviation. Now we will of course use more Jet A fuel, but the price difference was so small, and the price difference on LL100 was quite a bit, so we go with them. So let's get the airport opened, and let's see. There we have it, our first visitor, our first arrival, a little general aviation aircraft. Now they do taxi quite a lot now on the runway, because obviously they don't need, this is of course, this might give us some issues. I just don't want to use the medium runway. I think the large runway looks so much better. If it gets really a big problem, we might need to add another runway entrance or exit here, so they can expedite the runway earlier. But for right now, it's not an issue because the airport is not that busy, even though we already have 2 general aviation aircraft coming in. But hey, anyway, yeah, so then the other thing we want to work on here now is the surroundings. And for that, we want to construct water. Well, hold on, you might say there is no water in the game, and yes, that's absolutely correct, but I had a lovely referral to a video from, and I've noted it down this time, Aima Quado Gomara. I'm really I hope I didn't butcher their name too much. Aima Quado Gomara. He had commented referring to a video where someone was actually building an airport where they used the terminal ground, removed the floor, and then added the floors to create the illusion of water. And I really liked the way they were doing it. They were also trying to add a little bit of different colors using there, so kind of creating the illusion of waves in the water, which I found really cool. And as London City is of course right in the middle of the docklands, surrounded by water, that's perfect for us trying to do that as well. So I'm trying to add a little bit of different colors here, trying to see, the best thing is I guess just trying to create a random schematic here and then just copy paste it. I think that's what I will try to go with. So let me just quickly work on that, and let's see what the result will be. Alright, so this is a little bit of a fail. So the thing I've created looks hideous. The other thing is I can't copy paste it, so I can't just duplicate this, spin it around and add it around in different places. So adding waves would take hundreds of years, and you don't want to wait for that. So let's just skip that for now, and I will see, maybe someday off camera I might do it. Otherwise we'll just leave it like this, and it looks like water. We say it's water. Anyway, I have other plans as well for the surroundings. London City is not just in the middle of the docklands surrounded by water. The docklands is of course also, I mean, it's basically in the middle of London today. So you have buildings, you have houses around, offices around, all that stuff. Obviously we can't recreate London here in the game, but we can make buildings, we can make offices, for example. So why not create some office buildings around the airport? So that's basically the next thing we will be working on here. And I think the first thing we will be doing here is basically we'll create a tower, and I think we will kind of make a mirrored tower then next to that, which is the same. And then on the other side of the road, I also want to add a few buildings. So at least we have some buildings to start off with. While they're then being constructed, we can move inside the terminal and continue working there. And then over the next couple of episodes, we will get into the interior of these office buildings as well, adding offices, which I guess the airport staff could use, but I doubt we will actually specify them as staff rooms, but simply just having them there. If any staff wants to go in there, they could. But I think they will be too far away from the airport to actually be used. But I think it could add a little bit to the overall feel and look of the airport. Alright, so while we are working on these office buildings, let's talk about what's going on the channel so far. I mean, I'm recording this the day after I released episode 1 in season 2 of Cardiff, which has been extremely well received by you guys, so I'm really happy about that. It's been an epic journey getting there. It's basically been a year preparation for that moment of releasing that video, because I basically started working on season 2 of Cardiff while I was still releasing videos of season 1. So I was already starting to plan, like, what stories do I want to tell, what stories from season 1 are we continuing, finding more aircraft models, so scouring eBay mainly, which has taken ages. Obviously not buying everything that I found, but finding things that actually made sense and could add something to the storyline. So it was a really nice moment to release the video, and as I say, it was really well received by you guys, so I'm really happy right now. And yeah, now taking a little bit of time and working here on Airport CEO, which I'm also hugely enjoying. At the moment, I'm just enjoying this channel really a lot. I mean, I guess there's never really been a moment where I haven't enjoyed the channel, but I think right now things are going really well. Engagement is up, everything is going really nicely, so yeah, I'm really happy at the moment, and it's really down to you guys. I mean, yes, I'm enjoying what I'm doing regardless of if anyone watches it or not, but obviously if people actually watch and engage with you on the things, that's a bonus, and that just makes it even more fun. So yeah. Good times. Of course, last time I also mentioned the super exclusive news that I'm working on a new episode of Versus, a series that I've neglected quite a lot, basically to the point where I said, actually, I pronounced it to be dead. I'm still working on that. That will go on a little bit in the background. Might take a little bit more time than I originally intended to, but it will definitely come because I have the models that I want to use for it. So that's definitely coming at some point. Also, it will be time at some point here in the near future to start recording a few episodes of airport updates from Philadelphia Airport. So I'm really looking forward to that. I guess I will try to record a couple of episodes, maybe 3 or 4 episodes, so that I have all the episodes I need for the rest of the year, so that I don't need to worry about that. As soon as I have recorded the stuff, that's really what takes the longest time. Editing, yes, does take some time, but recording is really what takes the longest time. So as soon as I've done that, I can just have the footage waiting for whenever I have some spare time to actually edit the videos. Then, of course, I'm also continuing to work on my reviews as always, and I guess I should also, in the near future, start working on a few new episodes of my collection. Since the latest Air Baltic special livery has been released from Happerwings, I have a fairly large, I have a good Air Baltic collection now, which I definitely want to show, and I also have a few other collections. I have plenty of other collections, but a few that I've already managed to get all the aircraft in one place, because the other ones are stored in some huge boxes and take some time to collect them. But I have some things, so that should also be something that I will be working on in the future. Right, so we are moved into the terminal right now. So I think what we want to do is here we actually want to work towards the point where we can actually have an aircraft coming into one of these medium stands. I don't think we will manage to in this episode, but at least then in the next episode to have a first test run just to see that things work as they should. So for that we want to do a few things. So basically the last time I was working on here, this basically trying to, when people come upstairs, and then guide them around, so they can't go straight to the gates. And the reason for that is simply that I want to have them like going through a path where they're walking past a lot of shops. And I don't know if it will actually lead to passengers spending more money. It might also lead to the fact that passengers will be a little bit more unhappy because they have to walk further. But it's an experiment. I want to try to do, I mean, this is a common design at airports in real life, where people are forced through specific paths where you have plenty of shops, and you seemingly don't get anywhere nearer or closer to your gate, but you seem to run past a million shops. And basically that's what we're trying to replicate here as well. And I think what we will do is we will only have shop rooms in this part, and then once they have come up through this path, we will have food rooms, and maybe we'll have space for a restaurant as well up here. So basically, after people have checked in, they would go up the escalators here and arrive in this area where we then would have the security checks. So the large security checkpoints, I can't really make them work here, but I think we will have space for 3 medium checkpoints. And I hope that will be enough, but ultimately we will see. Otherwise, we could probably expand this area a little bit to the right side, but we will see. I will also add a staff room here so that we have that very close to the security checkpoints. Hopefully security staff will just go to that staff room instead of somewhere else in the airport, so they will be close by, because the security checkpoints do sometimes have a little bit issues where the game says that they are not manned even though they are manned, and stuff like that can happen. But hopefully it will work out. So let's just also make all of this now secure zone, because obviously this is where you would end up after the security zone, and all of this as well. Alright, so after passengers have passed through security and walked through shopping hell, they then arrive up here, either go to the international stands or the regional stands. And I think in this area it would be nice then to have some food rooms, and perhaps a restaurant if we can manage to get that in here in the space as well. And if we are just going here at the departure hall as well, I think that's also a good place for some shops. And I think we could also add some food rooms or I guess food rooms. I don't think restaurants really work here, but just adding a little bit here as well. Getting some additional revenue in here would be quite important, I think, and there is some space, so that would work rather nicely. Alright, so before we continue with our build, let's quickly take a look at what our sponsor for today has to say. So this video is kindly sponsored by Airline Transportation Tycoon, a brand new game in development giving players unprecedented freedom to build and develop their own airline and compete against challenging AI in single player or against friends in multiplayer. The new and exciting game is currently in development, and you can become an active helper by joining their Discord and support the project on Patreon. You can find all the relevant links in the description below. Alright, so ultimately I think the goal here should also be that we at least prepare the airport as far as we can, so we can get an aircraft in for next episode to have a first test run to see that things actually work. So we have connected our boarding gate with the stand. The stand is now connected with a baggage bay. Let's just connect the other 4 ones up here as well. But I have one issue here, and that is it says security checkpoint not connected, which I don't understand. Everything, it's within the security zone. It's not an international gate, so that's not an issue. Why does it continuously say that? I mean, everything should be fine, no? I mean, okay, the security checkpoint says it's not manned, but if I turn it off and turn it off again, then it's fine. And I have hired some security staff, so I should have enough for that. Strange. Okay, if you know why it says that it's still not connected, if you've noticed anything, then please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I'll try to see if I can figure that out after recording this episode before recording the next one, but it would be really helpful. Maybe you've seen something that I've just missed, but I really can't think about it. What the hell? Is that a cow? Oh my god! What? We have a cow on our airfield? Since when are there animals in this game? What? What's going on? We have a cow on our airfield. Seriously, when did that happen? I don't think I've read anything about it in any developer blogs. I mean, I guess I have a good title for the video now. What the hell? Has this been in the game? Oh my god, this is... What? There's a cow in the game. I'm speechless. You know what? I think this is the perfect moment to end today's episode. If you notice anything why my stand doesn't work, then let me know. There's a cow in the game. What else can we say? I mean, do we need to fence this off so the cow doesn't run around on the airfield? Is this a problem for aircraft? So many questions. A cow on the airfield. Alright, I mean, yeah, perfect moment to end today's episode. I think I don't think I can play anymore after this. So if you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like. That really does help us out. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye. There's a cow in the game. Who put a cow in the game?